So over the past couple of weeks, I've done a handful of videos on Social Security. And because of those videos, I've been getting a lot of questions. Now, a couple of the videos I did just recently, one I talked about increases to Social Security, specifically from the cost of living adjustment. But there's other increases that are coming. Now, I want to address some of those because I know, again, a lot of people are asking questions, some of which are currently collecting Social Security benefits, others that are thinking about claiming benefits, and then some that say, I'm concerned that Social Security will just not be around when I'm there or I'm ready to go and claim it. Well, let's talk about that because there's been a lot of questions about the younger generations, simply meaning baby boomers and older. Okay, you're already claiming Social Security. You have been for many years, so we're not really concerned there. But what about everyone else? What about all those that are in their 20s and 30s and 40s, right? That are ready to claim Social Security in the next 15 to 20 years, right? Again, if you're in the 30s, you got a little ways to go. But if you are 50, right, you're getting closer. You're probably wondering, is it still going to be there? Well, here's the problem. Social Security is going to become insolvent in 2034. And I talked about this just the other day and said that that is a year earlier than anticipated and expected last year. That was the estimate back in 2025 or 2024, was that Social Security would become insolvent by 2035. Now it's 2034. Well, according to experts, lawmakers have some solutions, but those solutions are not well received by the majority of Congress. Here's why. It says the problem is that Congress doesn't want to touch Social Security at risk of losing seats in the House or the Senate. As a result, mass reform just won't happen in this administration. Now, I want to be very clear on something. It doesn't matter if you are a Trump supporter, you're a Democrat, you're an independent, you're something else entirely. It doesn't matter, because whether it was in the Trump administration, the Biden administration, the Trump administration, the Obama administration, okay, Social Security hasn't really changed for decades. That's the concern. But here's what they say. Some say they believe that there's an answer, and the answer is on the way. Experts believe relief will be coming to Social Security. But what exactly does this mean? Well, they say there's going to be multiple changes, and they will be small. Here are some of the changes they're discussing. Reducing the benefit amount for new claims. So if you're already receiving Social Security benefits, you don't have to worry because you will not lose any benefit. Okay. And then the reason why I'm telling you this is because these experts say, and these are part of the discussions that Congress is having, they're saying that if we can make these little changes now, then we don't have to see a massive change in the future, or we don't have to see a massive change immediately. We can slowly get there, little by little, make these changes so that we don't have this massive adjustment period. But here's what they're saying. So first, reduce the benefit amount for new claims only. Only new claims. So if you've already started receiving benefits, you claimed early, you're good. The second thing, because they do say it has to be multiple changes, reduction in expenses for Social Security and increase the amount of tax revenue. Here's the second thing. Cut new beneficiaries. Okay. Now, here's what they mean by that. So for people that have just received benefits, they're talking about making a cut of about less than 5%. Keep in mind, if Social Security does become insolvent in the next 9 to 10 years, there would be a 23% reduction instantly. That would be hard to swallow. They say the goal is not to fully fund Social Security. The goal at this point is to prolong maximum benefit amounts and delay cuts to all. Does that sound like they're trying to save Social Security for the next 50 to 75 years? No. What they're trying to do is just prolong the benefit amount and delay any possible cut. So really just get them through the next couple administrations. Here's the next one. Increase the Social Security tax rate and cap. They say we'll likely see a higher tax rate for younger generations in order to help pay for losses over the past several decades. Now keep this in mind, okay? Here's a very interesting fact, a very interesting statistic, is that back in the 1950s, Social Security had 16 workers for every one retiree. Today, in 2025, we have 2.7 workers for every one retiree. This is why there's an insolvency issue. We have too many retirees and not enough workers. Now, are we going to get more workers? Well, that's something that Republicans want, but are they going to achieve that? Well, I don't know. Unless we can see some type of massive benefit, I don't see more and more people signing up to work when they can still receive certain things absolutely free. This is also one of the reasons why some Republicans are pushing for work requirements. So again, we'll keep that in mind. Here's the next one. They say the younger generation will likely pay more, but will be forced to retire later in life. We would see a tax rate of likely 15.6% within the next 10 years, and some want to completely eliminate the income tax cap. That's what they're discussing. So, where do we go from here? Well, here's what you need to know. If you are in your 60s, you're getting ready to retire, I think you'll be perfectly fine, okay? Could you see a little bit of a change to your benefit amount and how your benefit is calculated? Yes. That is likely going to be one of the solutions. The other solution is, and again, it's not going to happen for people that are over 60. It likely will be included for people that are in their maybe 40s and younger. So anything under like 50, you'll probably see this where they will likely increase the full retirement age, but it's going to happen over time. Just like we saw this decades ago, where they increased the full retirement age by 2 months every single year. Well, that finally went into effect just this year, where the full retirement age is now age 67. Okay, that's what it is. Some say that we can increase the full retirement age by 2 months over the next 2 years, or actually over the next 10 years. Okay, is this going to happen? Again, I don't know. I can't tell you. That would be 20 months, which would almost take us to age 69. It's currently age 67, but if we can get to age 69, so increase it by 2.25 months every single year, we could get there. Okay, we could get there. But experts say by doing this, it actually decreases the total lifetime benefit by 7% per year. So again, others are saying, well, that's fine, but we need the younger generation to pay for this. Now, here's the next thing I just want to leave you with, okay? And because it's very interesting. Some are looking at ways, an additional tax on the younger generation. Like, how can we tax other things that the younger generation uses because many of them don't want to work? Well, could we tax electric vehicles? Could we tax cryptocurrency, right? Place an additional tax that goes directly into Social Security. The answer is yes. Some are looking into this. So just keep that in mind that yes, right now, Social Security's tax, the income comes from one thing, our income. So if we see an additional tax, it might come from something completely different simply because some people are trying not to work. So we'll see what happens there. But again, I just wanted to give you this quick little update because I know a lot of people are asking what's going on, how am I going to be impacted, and when could we see these changes? So hopefully this video answered all those questions. If it didn't, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.